So just some quick notes on that this photos that you're currently seeing. Before I get started on this project, I do have that one video about more on CRTs and doing this kind of project based off those Pinterest things that I researched, and I went into a little bit more detail about it, which you can see on my channel. I think I named it the dangers of CRTs or whatever. But so I did another one, as you can see. Again, compared to the first time I did it, the first time I did it, I used no electric tools. I did it all by hand with some ratchets and wrenches, like any kind of tool. You need like basically a plethora of tools to do this. And in my experience, here's why. The first time I did this, it took about 4 hours. I accidentally ended up breaking the top of the CRT, which I think is the yoke, I believe. I mean, I'm not an electronics geek, so if any electronic people are listening to this, please correct me for God's sakes. But anyways, so the first TV that I opened that I did, and I'll show a picture of the finished project. It was in much better condition than this one. As far as inside, it was not as dirty and dusty by far as the second one that I just did the other day. This one the picture that you're looking at, yes, the bulb looks spick and span, and that's because yesterday we put it in the back of my husband's truck to take to the recycling center on Monday, and then last night it rained cats and dogs, so it rinsed off and cleaned all the nasty stuff that I was intending to show in this video. So right now it looks squeaky clean. Believe me, it did not look like that when I opened up this TV. It was disgusting. I had to definitely, I should have done this with the first project, but it wasn't as bad, so it didn't bother me. This one I had to wear a mask because there was so much dust, and on top of the CRT when I opened it, it was like a mixture of oil and dust and lint. Like it looked like an oil mud basically. It was just caked on top of this thing. It smelled gross. There was oil leaking from, I don't know where oil would be leaking from, but there was oil inside this thing. And it was just really, really dirty. So I definitely use precaution more with this second TV. It was just so gross, you guys. So definitely when you do this project, have on hand some gloves, some masks. It was just really gross. I did most of the project myself, even though with this project I was at my house. The first time I did it, I was at my mom's, so I wasn't too sure. I wanted to use my stepfather's tools, but I was at my house, so I used my electric screwdriver, and I have all these really awesome little adapters and parts to use with it. But it still took almost around 4 hours, even with the electric tools, because just at some point it's just such a hassle to get into these weird spaces where there are the nuts and screws to screw them in, and you have to alternate between the electric tool or by hand, just because they're in such odd placements. You can't get certain things in the right spot to unscrew these stuff. So it definitely still took around the same amount of time, which kind of bummed me out, because I thought compared to the first time, since I used nothing but manual tools with my hand, it would have taken a lot faster. But again, it wasn't the case. So I took it all apart, as you can see here. Again, upon note, this TV did work when I got it. It did turn on, and the person told me it worked. They just didn't want an old ass TV in their house. So, yeah, sorry, I'm probably making all you TV geeks cry right now. Yes, it was working. It was perfectly fine. But, it got wet last night, so it's probably not working anymore. I will be taking this to the recycling center to junk. Last time they gave me about $2 for all the junk and metal, I guess, whatever. Maybe upon next time, I'll start looking more into how to strip it for copper, and maybe get like a little copper pile going. I don't know. I don't want to go down another road here and start making another hobby, because my husband will just kill me, because I already have way too many hobbies and interests as it is. But that's the insides of this thing. I'm going to junk it. When you do your project, I hope you do it the right way and junk it too, because remember, there's lead and phosphorus in that tube and all kinds of nasty stuff. you don't want to be one of those ghetto people. So just junk it, make a buck or two. All right, let's continue on with the actual part of the DIY. Hi, so I'm just continuing my Pinterest TV console dog bed. This one I do intend to sell, and with this one, compared to the first one I keep bringing up the first one because there was a lot of learning experience with the first one. I still have it. It's in my kitchen. I'll show you right now. There are some things that I noticed with that I would like to change or emphasize more on this project, like this back part here. Also, some of the little things I'm using, like I went to the Dollar Tree, and with this, the same thing as I did the last project. This is just mine because I was trying to be cheap, but you could do whatever type of wallpaper you want. I got shelving contact paper that you like, shelf liner paper or whatever, and this in my opinion makes a pretty good wallpaper. They have all kinds of different really cute prints or whatever. I'll show you again. I'll go back to mine and I'll show you in a little bit what my first one looks like and where I'm changing. I also got for the inside, again at the Dollar Tree, some little flowers that are going to go inside. Of course, all this comes later. And then another thing that I want to do that I see sometimes in other dog houses is have this hang somewhere in the middle inside, and it is again from Dollar Tree, and you can put a battery in it and it turns on like a lamp. So I thought that would be really cute too, but of course that stuff comes way the hell later. So yeah, with basically with this, like I was telling you in the previous little part earlier about how filthy this thing was. It was so dirty. Even this is very filthy. I don't know if you can tell. There are some cool little things that came off of this. I don't know if I should frame this or sell this, but I think the schematic is like really cool because it's really old looking. So I'm gonna hang on to that. Also, this thing in here that held that protruding part of the bulb, this does need to come off, which it can. It does have screws for it. So I'm gonna take this off and then figure out how I can cover this square, because there will be a hole which will not work well once I need to start putting in my wallpaper and decorate the inside. So right now I'll remove that. So basically I'm gonna tackle this thing right now and clean it up. The next part of the video will be me painting it. So please do have your primer and your paints and all that stuff, masking tape. Let me move this aside really quick. Now I'm still figuring out what type of color scheme I'm gonna go with, only because it still has the fabric. Here, can you see it? Let me see if you can see this better. It still has the fabric that came through the speakers, which I do like. Oh, I broke something in there. Oh, I'll check it out right now. Anyways, I like that, and then also I can't figure out how I'm supposed to take off the hardware, so I am gonna have to cover that. I don't know if how I'm gonna protect this, because this would just take a long time to paint the little details. I may or may not do that. I don't know. That's just maybe more work than I want to put into it. But do figure out your color schemes. I'm gonna go ahead and clean this. I'll let you all know how long it took. I have my vacuum ready. I have multiple rags and stuff, cleaners. I'm also gonna, once I clean that, I'm gonna flip it upside down, and I have to repair the wheels underneath and also clean underneath, which it wasn't that bad yesterday. I got most of it while I was cleaning out the console, but again, you just want to make sure that there's no critters or anything inside. This part, as I will show you on my other one, I did keep this. You will see the knobs and stuff on my other one, and I will show you how I was able to cover that. But in this case, I didn't have planks of wood as I did with this one, so I couldn't save the buttons. They were cool, but you know, I figure with this little window right here, I can do like a little curtain, like a little itty bitty curtain, and that'll work. This could come out. I almost took this part out, this part that lined the bulb, but I was like, nah, that's what makes it look like a TV. So I kept that. You can unscrew this and throw it out. So this is the first one that I did. I did not paint it because I absolutely love just the color of the wood grain or wood grain plastic or whatever crap you want to call it. The other one I am painting it just because I think it'll add more wow factor with people nowadays, especially like, I hate to be that person to say this, but you know, a lot of chicks want cute, bright colored, shabby chic things, and I'm fine with that. That's why I'm coloring the other one, because I tried to sell this one initially, but like nobody wanted it. It's just like they don't like the wood color or whatnot. So whatever, you know, I kept it for myself. I love it. My dog uses it when I'm in the kitchen cooking. So as you can see here, I kept all the old knobs. That one was broken. Look at that. Isn't that cool? This is fine. It wasn't ripped or anything. So a little, see, so let me show you what I'm learning on this one. As you can see here, I put the shelving paper and it worked good. I also put a picture of my pug in here, which is really cute. And to cover the whole box here that does have all the components for this, it's hiding behind here. I took 2 planks of wood, and it's back here too, and then I glued them together. They are glued down in here. They're glued all the way down to the bottom, and I just kind of made a casing, and it covered it, and then I covered it with the shelving paper. So that's how I was able to keep this in there, because I covered the back. But as you can see here, the shelving paper is coming off, and that's because the wood here on the inside, it's fuzzy. So like once it gets all the fuzzy on the sticky part, it starts to peel off. So I'm gonna have to remedy that on my other one, either by putting glue, or I'll probably have to use like a staple gun to keep it down. But that's some of the part. And then of course you can do your own custom dog pad. Of course this would have been like, I would have to obviously done a custom one because of the way it goes in. It's like a weird L shape on this side because I had made this box. But you know, I covered it with just like old blankets and pillows, and she loves it. And then this is just a place where I can store all their little toys when they're not playing with them and they're outside. Also with this project, and I'll show you another thing, as they lean up against it and they're sleeping in here, I had the back tacked down originally, but now it's bowing out, as you can see. So I will also have to remedy that with some really fine nails or something. So like I said, I'm gonna get started on this one, clean it up, prep it for paint, and the painting and all that other stuff will be on the last part of this video. Thank you so much for watching.